Hello. So, let's have a look. uh, Hello. Um, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the lighting for this, and the first thing we want to do is get rid of the old lighting and reinvestigate what possible new lighting we want. So I'm gonna delete most of the stuff that comes with this. Basically cleaning it up. A lot of lights apparently. Okay. We can keep this for now, but we'll okay. So such a light. No. Atmospheric fog. Yep. Processing. Nope. Fog. Nope. Spot. Nope. Sheet. Nope. Reflection. Yes. That ought to be most of it, I think. And let's see. Yep. It's good. Okay. So and then I want to do what I normally do. I want to go into project settings, and I would like to go into rendering, scroll down and make sure everything is off, and he did take it off, so that's good. I'm gonna go to unlit and just, that's the character over there, and I'm gonna assume he starts on this side because he's looking towards that direction anyway, like so. Put him down like this. And then I'm gonna do a quick light build. And that's just basically to undo everything. And then gonna review possible light sources what I do have. Might be an overkill, but we'll see. Might move stuff around. But we'll have a look. We'll see. This is a lot of light sources. Not sure I want that many. And then there's almost none over there. Okay. It's interesting. So so the environment is yellow and reddish, right? So lighting could focus on the blue one, or I could go for a different color palette, perhaps something around greenish and purplish. Could possibly be an interesting color palette. Well, we'll have to try it out and see what happens, basically. So it's taking long to build because I deleted the light most important volume, so let's put that back. And let's scale it up, so the next time with lights it's gonna go a bit quicker. So we'll do this. And we'll spread this out. Something like this. Generally the light propagation value, you want it to be slightly bigger than your environment. And then I'm gonna just pump it out. And I don't think it goes further than that. Yeah, that's perfect. And then what we want to have a look at, just have to multitasking. So just in case someone comes, let's write hello. So there we go. So the color palette we're going for is red and yellow on environment, right? It's red and yellow, so it's a conscious choice that I'm going for more green, purplish blue as the light sources, and arguably also because we have further down we've added some sci-fi settings. You can see this could possibly be a green source, this could be possibly blue sources. So with that in mind, we want to keep that in mind when we do the lighting. Okay, so and so there are tons of light sources at the moment, and a lot of them comes from these pipes which are working as lights. So we'll do lit, and press G, and I can see all the light sources we have right now in the level. It's a bit too much, it's an overkill I think, and they might not be placed where we need them. Right, so our job as we do the wall building, and there's still lots to do on this level as well, we want to keep in mind where we want the light. So I'm going to ignore the placement for now. I'm generally going to go and think about where the character is moving, because the character is going to go all the way to the right side and the camera is on this side, which means we want to focus the lighting on this side majority of the time. So it's really a long process, so we need to think about what we're doing. So the first thing we're gonna go and think about is my directional light, and I want to add it in. And this is just to double check if there are any openings that I haven't spotted yet. And as far as I can say, there's a small, but not that important. You can see it all the way over there, right? You can all the way at the end. So I don't necessarily need a directional light because it's interior, it's waste of resources, so we're not going to focus on that. Another thing we want to try is the skylight. We want to go for movable just quickly to do some tests. We want to increase the intensity and see what happens. So not much is happening with the skylight either. But if I turn on the sky blueprint, which is kind of important for it to work, for the sake of argument, I'm gonna do a quick light build and see if it's catching on something that I haven't noticed so far. Now, intensity 20 sounds like a lot, but it isn't necessarily a lot all the time when you're working on these kind of things. So we're gonna let it build a bit, and we're gonna think about what else we want to do afterwards, right? So we're just gonna build, and it's probably gonna take a bit time, which is fine. I'm gonna move this one and this one from now over to the lighting folder. It's pretty handy. And then we're gonna have a look at the general mindset and thought process of putting out the lights. So for now, while it's building, I'm mentally thinking about where the appropriate lights could be to light the environment. It's not always that easy. I mean, this one is technically something. If we go into the materials on this one, yeah, it allows for emissive lighting. So if I do that, and then have a look, it would have to check out for it to work properly though. So it's building shaders as we speak. Might ruin the lighting because it might affect more than one place, but arguably this is possibly can turn on the emissive texture as well to make it work properly. Yeah, so that's something we could do eventually, is tweak those to make them work as we want. But for now, we're gonna keep it simple, and we're gonna let the light build. It's not a big deal. And we're gonna put this one over here. Gonna do lit, and I'm gonna increase the general softness, and I'm gonna increase the length to around this. I'm gonna rotate it to match the general design of this one over here, and I'm gonna double check everything's working. Okay, and what we're trying to do, you can see that the environment pretty lit right now, and if I go to skylight, I turn down this to maybe 1, you'll see it's now adjusting accordingly. So the skylight we can use to generally boost the environments. We're gonna keep it at 1 for now. I'm gonna keep it at white as well for now to generally and evenly lit everything, but we might reduce it slightly so we can play with the lights a bit more when necessary. Let's turn that on. And generally speaking, right, I'm looking to make this somewhat matching this one, right? So something around here. So now this one is around there, and the radius might be a bit too big, so we're gonna go maybe around here. Intensity, might want to increase it to a certain degree, not too much though, something like here perhaps. Then look for a general idea of how we want it. So gonna have 300 on this one, gonna have 1100 on this one, gonna have 25 on this one, and 170 on this one, right? And I might increase the source radius. It really depends what kind of shadows we're looking for, and I don't think we're gonna have any problem for now. Go to static. I want to do a quick light build again. And we're looking to see how everything is affected, right? Looks okay. Dismiss. And we're building the lighting and just waiting and waiting and waiting. So once we've decided this one, we could arguably copy them all over, depending on if we just want to try putting lights where we know there are light sources, but that might not necessarily work as intended. So another way of working is for me to basically place lights and then figure out the composition of things and then add the light sources afterwards. That's completely valid to do as well. Okay, and this is quite a long and tedious process for sure. So I think I'm gonna on purpose increase it slightly so it touches the player, and perhaps gives a slight hint of shadow. The color, if I went for stationary, even though I shouldn't do it while it's building, let's go here and have a look, and let's try purplish for now. Copy that in here. Skeptic. Might have to go a bit lower on the saturation then. Something along those lines. Arguably, you would also have to click on these and do the same thing here as well, in which you paste in this and kind of do the tweaks accordingly, right? Check that out from our source control, and then gonna go here and double check. Okay, so you can see the color of the light changed for now. Keep in mind it's building everything, so it's gonna take some time when I'm doing light building, unfortunately. So we wanna try and keep it simple for now. You can see that all of the lights change to blue, which isn't necessarily what we want. So eventually we want to change these to a different instance, because right now every light became blue, even though I just wanted this. And that's again have something to do with workflow and how we do use these asset systems and version control when we work. And the fact that we haven't made new instances when placing those out. So eventually I will be tweaking those properly. But for now we will leave it and just let every color change according to what we need. So it takes quite a bit to build a light, up to 10 minutes already. So imagine when we have more lights, it's gonna take quite a while. And I have about 6 hours to finish this project for the deadline tomorrow. So we can see this is the brightest spot right now. We see the light following, but it's not exactly perfect. Now there are many ways to deal with it. If I were to increase this one even more as an intensity, this spot will be overlit. Will be over bright, so it will ruin everything. Alternatively, for now, just for the sake of curiosity, let's increase the intensity and the attenuation radius, so we get those blue color to spread out on these edges. Basically, we want to exaggerate a bit for this level. Now, if I do intensity, it will increase to the degree that it might be a bit too much, but we can get away with it because there are lights everywhere. But as I said earlier, we probably wouldn't be doing it too much. So chances are we might want to try some insane amount to get those shadows to appear. We could try 2500. I mean, we do want to have a sense of contrast, right? So when the player is running, there are some strength and shadow and things happening basically, but might be too bright from this perspective. Arguably, what we could do then, we can hold down Alt, we can push this up, and the mentality here is instead of having it in front of the character, keep in mind the camera of this game, right? Because if I click play, you'll see this is the camera, and that might be a bit disturbing to have the brightest spot. The reason for that is it makes the front darker unless I put light on the other side. So arguably, again, there's a different method as well. We could hold on shift and alt, and I could put light on the other side as well to break up everything, right? Now, for the sake of this video recording and time, what I'm gonna do for now, I'm gonna go make everything real time for now, but won't be using the real time at the end of the project. But to speed up the lighting, we're gonna do that for now, right? So everyone who's watching will have something useful to take away before we happen to leave. So this is how it looks if I do a quick check. So take all this light, right click, and I want to make sure I move them to lighting. Important to be organized. I'm gonna go click skylight, and that's also real time. Remember, I had it on 0.5. If I do a bit more, it does brighten up everything. If I do even more, it brightens up even more. Question is, how bright do you want the overall level to be? This is interior, and depending on the color we were going for, maybe we want to have a lot of blue color, maybe a bit of red. Again, it depends on our color palette, and we pick the color palette based on the fact that the level itself has red and yellow around the level, so we want to create contrast for that as well. Otherwise the color hits on the texture and the texture quality changes, and you can see if I want red, even the red spots, they become hard to understand and differentiate. So we do want to go for a bit of a blue tone in general all over the level, but not too much. You can stick to somewhere around this area, maybe a bit turquish. So we'll keep it a bit traditional sci-fi-ish color around, and then we pump it up to 10 to see what happens. We can see it's overlaid it. There's no depth, there's no shadows. That's something we don't do when we do lighting for games, right? So I'm gonna keep it on 0.1 to get an overall feel of how the light actually works, and you can see that quite bright. And then I basically slowly but surely I increase it, and I'm looking at the shadows here, because the general idea of this skylight is only to put light in the shadows, so I don't have to stress too much later. And why is this? You see it's getting brighter and brighter. So why am I doing this? Well, because it's a game lighting, we don't want to spend too much time and resources lighting up everything too much. So we're gonna keep increasing it, and you see it's lighting up this area as well, and spreading out a bit more. And if I do 2, you see it's lighting up the background a bit more. So 1.5 I think is what we're gonna stick to for now, and I say for now because that might change. And I'm not too big fan of the light so far, so but we're gonna keep it, and we're gonna have a look. I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna click play, and you can barely see the shadow of the character, and this is basically because of the attenuation radius of the light source. It's quite bright, so we might want to consider going all the way down to 1500 and 1500 on this one as well. And the reason for that is we don't want it to be overly bright here. You can see it's burning out the details, you know, it's that's a bit too much, so we want to keep putting it down to a certain level. so it doesn't necessarily see it. Now we're getting some of the details back, and we want to try and aim for that, so we get those shadows and creases. I'm gonna delete this so we can have a look. Okay, so that's pretty okay. So what we're gonna do now, for the fun of it, we're gonna click Alt and Shift, and we're gonna just quickly try something, and we're gonna place it out on this starting area, and because it's real time we don't have to do much building, and we're gonna try and get an idea of the feeling of what we get. So if something is weird, so to figure that out, we're gonna go back to Skylight, and we're gonna turn this one to be a bit more blue, a bit red, white. Okay, so we're gonna keep this white for now, because do you see we lost all the red when we affected the overall sky color. So that's what we're gonna go pump it down to 1 to dim it down a bit. We're gonna have a look at these. These are okay enough for now. So what you can then do to get this area a bit brighter, what we normally would do, we cheat, and we cheat our ass off. So how do we do that? Well, to movable for now. This is important that this is actually baked in the long run. Turn off cast shadow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pump this up. And then I'm going to tweak a blue color, something around this. And then I'm going to keep it away from the wall over there. I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. And then I'm going to... So what I'm doing now, I'm just putting splashes of color and light in my path. And you can now see that it's a bit more lit. There's a darkness in the background, and there is the brightest spot is in the middle, more or less. So this is kind of what we're going for. When I say kind of, I mean we want to have the focus on the middle. So knowing this, right, knowing this principle, what we're going to do is we're going to click this, this, and this, and this. We're going to delete it, right? See what happens? It removes all the reflection, highlight, and focus. And we're going to do this, and this one. I believe it's baked, but we can turn it off afterwards. Then press G for now and just click play quickly, and this is the brightest spot now. That's very important to understand the concept of the brightest spot. So go to light, hold on, let me just go there, yeah, they're all the way here somewhere. Let's go point, and let's do these. Put them back into the light for now, like so. Okay, and have a look at them. They're somewhere around there, but if we wanted to, we could make it somewhere like this, right? And we could increase the tonation to 2005, maybe even the brightness. So why can we do this? Well, it's important to keep in mind that the camera itself isn't actually gonna go up all the time. So that's why we can do that. We click play again very quickly, and we can see it's overly spread and even. It really depends on the overall goal we're going for. Now, doing lighting does take ages because it's very much a back and forth process and trying to figure out this. So while we're doing the real-time lighting, I'm going to build the light, and that's mainly to see if this one goes away, because I might have forgotten something otherwise. And to double check, let's go in here, and nothing's on here. Go in here. One thing we know is we change the color, which affects the whole map. So we're real time, so it doesn't really matter what's baking. Okay, So we have a look, and one thing to keep in mind as well is that's cool. I mean, this could work, but let's have a look at these. Turn it off a bit. It's complete darkness right now, right? That's fine. So let's put off the spotlight to unlit. Let's do back to lit. What I did accidentally, I turned off the whole level, you see. There we go, back. And we do this. And then we only select, only select this light, turn them off. See the difference? So that's one thing we want to keep in mind, is how the light affects the overall area. Now this is even a lit, that could work, it's not a problem. But let's do effect roll off, keep them available in the level so I don't have to stress afterwards. Let's do spotlight now, right? Spotlight, let's for example put spotlight somewhere around here. Let's do an insane amount of radius, but we don't want to get too far, so let's do around here, and then just pump up, say 5,000. Right, 5,000, and let's move it perhaps somewhere around here. Okay, that's okay. Well, let's do an inner cone to get some variation. Okay, something like this. Now, so we got this nice splotch of darkness, and then the main hotspot being in the middle. Okay, that's cool, but let's have a look. The shadows are around here, shadow spot is there, that's fine. And that the white light in the background is gone. Let's do movable for now. Okay, so I think this might be more interesting in the long run, having these splotches of light going downwards. Okay, so let's do a quick play. Puts the focus where the player is, which is kinda what we do want. Now, I could turn this back on for whatever reason, so I could do this, and you see it's still the brightest spot. I could tweak this to 1005 to even out the light a bit. I could do maybe 1005 as well here to even out, and then I can turn it on and off, and you can see what happens and where it affects. So I have a general idea of that is a possibility, but for now the simplest is often the best. So we're gonna try and have a splotch of light kind of going to different spots. Something like these, right? And of course there will be enemies and other things are gonna happen in these areas. So what these splashes of light are doing in the long run, oh wow, I got that far. That's a bit too much. We don't really need to go further in this area for now. So, splashes of light, click play. Light, dark. This one is too bright, right? So you would generally adjust this area somehow eventually. The shadow, you can see that going here. Okay, you see the shadows. Okay, and dark, and then there's a splotch of light where there are interesting objects. There's a bit dark spot here, so here we could add different lights like blue lights and filler lights to tighten up. This one goes up, and so far there was nothing special up there, but those again we can have some light on the top floor as well. So I like that. I like the light dark, light dark, light dark puts the focus on where the player is going. So I'm happy with that, but I might not necessarily, however, be happy with the gaps of it. So what I'm gonna do, gonna pick those, and we have about again I'm selecting almost all of them. So we want to select this. We're gonna delete. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and count. So that's 1, that's 2. I'm gonna do 1, 2, and that's gonna be too much eventually. So we're gonna try and tweak those later on. Okay, if you see in warehouses, they actually do have a lot of lights on the top floor like these. So we're gonna have to tweak eventually. And it might actually happen that we decide to go for point lights with those radius that we have. Fluorescent lights that we see in the background, we might actually place those up later on. So even though I said I don't need to go further than the gate for now, we're just gonna do this. Right, so now you see it's all evenly lit up. We don't really want that, but we now have an even spacing in terms of, you know, even spacing, so that's fine. So now we want to try something else. We're gonna pick all the lights. Okay, picking all the lights. Like so, and then we're gonna again try and go 25, 15, 1, 5, 20, 25, 15, 20. Okay. Then we also have to change this to go a bit, because we don't want it to go past the ground and waste calculations for now, because it's real time. If I just bake, it doesn't really matter, and it won't matter once we're done, of course. So that's press G. Okay. So you see there is a subtle difference when you do lighting and you have those dark light spots. Okay, is it perfect? No, by all means it's not, but whatever. So source radius, we're gonna go for a soft source radius at 50, 150, 250. What happens is getting bigger upstairs, but not much happening here. So soft radius 50, nothing. 500, nothing. Source length 500, not really affecting anything at this level, which is fine. Gonna go here, gonna do shadow bias to 0.1 for now. Might have to do, so if I go back to 0.5, you can see here there was something. It ensures that the shadow actually catches the areas that should be catching, and that changes a lot for those who have the eyes for that. Okay, so click play very quickly. So you can see that this isn't necessarily as bright as it was over here. That's okay. So this one is interesting because this one is blocking it. That's something we can take the advantage of, and this one is also blocking it. So that's an interesting thing we can consider keeping or changing eventually. So we don't have to have it every 2 seconds, 2 poles. That's just a decision we made for now. And let's just select here, click F. What I would consider though is this one. Due to this one, you might decide to reduce this intensity eventually. But let's try reducing intensity for all of them because they are pretty high. So let's go for say 4,500, 4,000, 3,500, 2,000. Okay. So this one is now reducing the general problem we have here, but everything else is dark as well. So what we can do now, we can do this to approximately 25, and this to 10, this to 15, 20, and this to 1005, 1007, and then I go back up to 2000, 2015. This one goes back to 5. That's okay. Okay. So basically try to get a general feel of what we're going for. Okay, there are splashes of light, putting the character in highlight. Okay, that's not bad. Click this again, select all of them, like so. And make sure we have disabled for another hour because my flux is coming back on, which ruins my ability to do lighting properly. Do 10. Okay, so it becomes a bigger. 15 goes a bit bigger. Still the dark spot there, so spreading out somewhat evenly. But we're gonna try and do 25. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's a bit too even for my taste. This is good. So let's do 10, 15, 25, back to 4,000, 5, 10, 20. Can actually do 15 probably as well. So in my head, it might actually have been, I think actually this was somewhat the best. So we'll solve this another way if it becomes a big problem, though right now it's not actually, except this one here. So there are some solutions we can do afterwards if we need to solve that. So I like the splashes, splash, splish, 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 but it might not be the brightest light. So how bright we want it is really up to us, but right now those are the brightest spots, and if we want to continue keeping them the brightest spots, they have to be the one with the most intensity. Okay, that's quite important, the most intensity. So for the sake of 10, right, and then 15, 25, 20, and then 15, and then 25, 20. This one is probably oh, actually I did something, but softens the reflection, which I don't know really if we need it in this level. There might become a situation where we do need it. See, I don't know if you can see it if you have the eyes, but see this and this. So this depends on how we want to have this radius, and that's kind of big, so let's go for about 50. So what it basically does is softens as well as the edges of the shadow a bit. Let's do this one to 500, 50. See, this one is also getting affected. So I think 25 will do. And then let's have a look again. Let's go for 50, 500. See, that's changing as well. That's because this one is getting longer. We'll keep this around 50 for now. Actually, this one should be 20. Actually, 5, and 15 will be the effect I want on the ground. And then, out of curiosity, let's see if I can push this even further. So I will Control T, see what happens on the top here. Okay. These are overlapping, see that? So I'm gonna put them here instead for now. Okay, that should do for now. It's a nice spread. So if I go now on Skylight, and if I choose to do more, we can even up those darkness. Could be interesting though. Should we try it? If it's completely dark, we don't actually want it completely dark, but what we can do, can have maybe 1.5 perhaps. Could be interesting. So what this is doing is it's increasing the contrast of our light. So basically that means, see this one? Now if I went here and go to Spotlight, I could now, if I wanted to, I could reduce these to around, well, 4,000, 3,500, 3,000, 2005, and I could expand this to 25, and then if I go to Skylight, I'm going to do this to 512 for now, and then I'm going to keep this on 0.3 for now. I'm going to go out of this code for a bit. And if I now take a light color, I think around here is okay for now. Okay, so that's fine, but we do want it a bit brighter, right? So I think 3500 is okay for now. This one is the brightest spot, and if you really analyze it, that's the spot that's annoying me the most, because 5000 here is perfect. 5000 here, not so much. I could cheat, but we're not gonna do just yet. Now we need some other lights to spice it up a bit more. To do that, what should we do? Do we want to, or do we not want to? Skylight is the easiest way to pump up the surroundings, so let's do a bit more. I think 0.5 is actually okay for now. Let's keep it white so I can see the colors of the other lights for now. Okay, it's a bit too red though, isn't it? It's like, it's a bit annoying, all this red stuff going on. So let's do point light again, right? And I can show you again if you didn't understand. We have the source radius, then we have the source radius, then we have the source length. So basically I can turn it around like this, can make it the size it needed, and then accordingly, just accordingly, like so. Some people will actually put it inside like this. I normally do it in front, like so. So I think 5, maybe 6, no, 4, 5. This one is 35, 40, 20, 15, 10. I'm basically looking at the bottom here. Source length is 8 on 80, on I think it's actually 200, something like this, and then the source radius probably around 5, right? Do it movable, pump it up to be around, we could do around 2000, but 2000 is very bright right now. And you might be thinking, okay, but didn't you just put 5000? Yeah, but keep in mind the light falls off as it fades into the distance. So this one, in terms of ratio, could be probably around 1000 at most. We're gonna go 500 for now, and then we're gonna adjust it to get those contrasts we need afterwards. And then I'm gonna just quickly do subtle blue, like so. Attenuation radius, I do want it to kind of go out of their way into the level, like so, right? And then, yeah, then maybe pump it up a bit, insanely more. And then just go crazy. Like so. And because they're so close to each other, right? Let's click it, go here, move it to lighting, not renaming them at the moment, but you definitely should. So, and I'm gonna go 1005, 1000. Gonna have attenuation rate to 2000. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 1005 because it goes just above the area here. Pump it up to 1005 here. have 0.001. So now it's giving the shadowy effect that I do need. Question is it too much? So we do Control C, then we delete one of the zeros to spread it out a bit more. Then I do it again. And I kind of get an idea of if it's too much or not. I think 0.01 is probably what I want for now. So that's good. Now you can see, because of that setting, I can pump this up a bit more or less. It really depends. Can even go even lower. Yeah, and this one can go even higher, 2005, and then this one can go higher, something like this, right? This is the brightest spot right now, and it's a bit annoying, but it's okay. Click play. It's so bright, it's too much. Because it's a game lighting, right? We do have to keep that in mind when we do this thing. So let's go 250. It's not good enough though, is it? Let's do 1,500 and 1,500, 1,500. So then turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. So I'm trying to get those details on the items for now. I click play. I'm seeing if the character is getting any highlights on the side, and right now it's not noticeable, but that's fine. And I'm gonna go to light glow, look the color, gonna add multiply and constant 1. I'm gonna connect this and this together and put this one in here, and I'm gonna put this one on value 1, and then 2, and then 5. Then I'm gonna click apply and save, and then I'm gonna have a look and how it spreads even more. So okay, that's fine. So what are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna freaking cheat like we always do in games. Put this right, gonna put it down to 500, gonna put this one to 500, so it's around this area, it's highlighted. Okay, can even push it even more to 250, even more, 150. Okay, even go a bit more, maybe 150, so 250, 500, 500, and the attenuation radius 1500, so it goes a bit further out, right? But we're not gonna do that, so we're gonna do 500, so the highlight is in this particular area. Then I'm gonna go 0, then I'll go 100, then I'm gonna go 150, 250, back up to 500. That is acceptable. So what we're gonna do is go back in here, go here, we're gonna go 0.5, go apply and save, Okay. Close it. And dims down those lights just a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna put the spotlight. We're gonna put it in front, like so. Actually, let's do it like this instead, or maybe something like this. To movable, crank up attenuation. Do again, maybe something around here. Okay. I'm sure you can spot what we're doing. Creating that small detail we need. Gonna go back here, gonna go there, gonna copy this color so it's consistent, and I'm gonna look at this, gonna push it slightly forward like so, somewhat same color, increase the attenuation, not too much. Don't want actually to be spreading out all the way to, but just a little bit. You see that highlight over there? I want to make sure that we get just a little bit somewhere around here. So let's go 1500, and then let's do something like 30, and then maybe 50. Actually 40, and then 15. Right. Might actually do 30 as well. No, 50 it is. 50 here. 45. 40. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do 100. Gonna do 40. Then we're gonna do 500. 10. 510. So basically I want to try and get that effect. 500 happens if I do. It's good. So let's do 400 and then 100. And then rotate it like something like this. Then want it to be kind of like this, but a bit more. So somewhere around here. Then we are tweaking. Right, so 40 and 20. Then 1005. Right. So 1005. It's good. It's a bit bright. My eyes are hurting. 1000 maybe. Might get away with 500. No, I like it. 1000. That hotspot is nice. Okay. And again, we want to go for 0.01 at least. Then we can crank it up a bit more. And 1002, so we're getting those highlights here. Then you kind of have to get an idea of, I want to have it a bit soft, right? So I do like the softness it gives here. Something like this, but that's a bit big, so we're gonna go for 55, like so. And then the soft radius, I think 100, so to be fine. It's 200. This one, so like this. Generation radius 1005. Then I'm gonna go on and off, yep. And then it's fine, like so. Right, and then I'm gonna go copy this here, here, and here. Save it. Gonna check it out so no one else touches it. Play. It's a good start. Now what we're gonna do, gonna see if we can cover this. Right, and then what we're trying to do is not being too picky though. Basically I'm trying to get the general idea if I want to or not. Don't want to have my lights here, so I'm just going to delete them. Oops. Also say that because if there's too many, it ruins the overall feeling as well. So I'm just selecting these. Okay. Then I'm gonna try and place them in a way that makes some sense. And then this one I'm going to turn off a bit and see if there's any need for it. Going to turn this one over to 3,500, 2,500. Basically, I'm trying to get the same value in this particular case. Right. Then I click play. This is definitely the brightest spot. So to deal with that a bit, that's the base color, I think. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click it and make it darker, and then click apply. Save, checkout selected, and close. Then we're gonna have a look again, and we're gonna have a look here, platform inside, again, have a look, make it even darker. Click apply. And yes. It's less intense now. And then let's have a look. It's fine. I am tempted slightly to do a couple of other things. So look. Take this one. Let's find it. I'm just gonna place it out and have a look. Okay, gonna do this, and I'm gonna duplicate 5 red. And that's actually not going to solve my problem, because I need to also get this one, and I need to duplicate this. I could make a material instance as well, but should be fine this way as well, I think. Material glow, color red. click it, and I want to, for now, just do this. Gonna be a bit orange though. There. Right. Then I want to apply it to this. It's a bit over the top, but it's fine. Double click, gonna click here, assign it to the mesh itself. It's not really important that it's called red, probably shouldn't call it red, but whatever. I'll have to do the tweaks afterwards. About here. And let's do, actually don't really need these light sources for now. I'll deal with the light sources eventually, because those are actually annoying me at the moment. So I'll turn them all the way for now. And let's do a red one. Just get an idea. Maybe something like this. So what I'm doing is I'm making some contrast in the background instead this time around. Right. So I'm looking for ways to give some different effect. To this. Right, so I'm trying to make it interesting enough to break it up basically. And also I'm building up on the red color that's already in this area. So somewhere right here. We could possibly do one here as well, actually, like so. But might be a bit overkill. 500, maybe a bigger range. Possibly. Click play. Actually, the issue here is how do we move the ball? Then click play. So you have the blue and you have the red in the background, and for the sake of experiment and speeding up this process a bit, let's do the same. And let's see. Actually, take away one. Put this somewhere here. So I will on purpose do this for the sake of lighting. Then this and this. Don't actually like it. Take this and this, and wanna quickly just here. isn't a good idea, because we don't want to make it look like there is something they can do over there. So I think we need to balance. Let's keep it simple for now and do the same here. Just something this maybe. Yeah. Okay. So on purpose of trying to keep the red in the background and the blue in the foreground, right? That is in fact a conscious choice. Like this, put this in the middle here. Delete this, keep this there, delete this, keep this in the middle somewhere here, click there. What? Okay. But we do need some more blue light. Okay. So let's keep it simple. This and this. Copy this all the way over there. Turn it around like this. And then this. Kind of like something. Bang. Okay. This is happening because of the shadow bias is too much or too low. Then we go down and tweak it. Tweak it. Something like here. This. Like so. Somewhere here. It's probably gonna be deleted anyway because I'm not sure I like it just yet. Let's stop here. I like it here though. That's okay. Basically I'm doing very quickly because it's a 1.5. Have a 1.5. Okay. This one can probably go 1.01, and this one probably should stay 0.3. Zero three. There you go. And this one, not so strong. It's not. Let's do this one here. Another one maybe here. Okay. Something like so, and actually let's do one more here, right? Pretty cool. See, he also did the same. Click save. Okay, so we're getting this nice variant of color. For here, for the fun of it, I'm gonna go for a bit more green color. We're gonna put it somewhat inside here. Then I'm gonna copy this over here. You might be going, what? That's not green. Well, bear with me, bear with me. This one goes. This one goes a bit more bluish. We want to have some blue effects coming from here, right? But not too much. Something like this. Same with this one in here. It's probably too big. Want it somewhere around here. Okay. That's okay. And have some fun here as well. Gonna go for a greenish, but keep it within the radius, like so. Too much, we keep it slightly dim. Good. Okay. It's movable for now. Put them all of these point lights. Can I put them all on 0.3? All right. Then we're going to do light. Not lighting per se, but light mesh. Then I'm gonna delete this one because I don't really keep those separate. Gonna take all of these here put them in lighting, and I'm gonna put all of this also into lighting, then all of these into light mesh, and now I'm gonna just quickly delete this, Actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna select all of the light meshes here, and deselect this, deselect this, deselect this, deselect this, this, and this, and then just gonna go delete. I think there's some over here as well. Call something else, I guess. Delete. Like that. We don't want this, by the way. Or this one. Okay. And yeah, we probably want to delete these as well. And we need to disable the sunrise. Okay. Let's go. These are pipes. We're just gonna select them. And we're gonna delete them because we don't want them. Like so. There we go. It's good. It's really turning out like to be. It's a good first draft for sure. It's good. Lots of fixes to do though. You might notice we haven't done the backside yet. And once we do that, that might be quite interesting actually. There's a lot of bright spots here and there though, so some of them might be tuned down. For example, I might tune this one to around 3000, that's too much. Oh, that's not even 3000, that's good. Okay, so that's one, and then for the sake of some of these, I'm gonna pick these up. I'm gonna quickly put them around here, like so. Something like this, and I'm basically just gonna keep going like so. It helps so much to have those details in on the light sources. Gonna skip that for now. I'll come back later. See, just the shadows alone helps once you have those added. It's a very nice subtle detail. There's really a limit on how much light I'm going for. Okay, so that's in place. That's good. And oh yeah, it's decals. Okay, that's good. Let's do this. Oh, so that's where the decals are. Cool. I would like to. Where is it? If I turn off decals here, that's fine. And turn it on. Okay. These are all stripes, but those are also. Oh, okay. Do I have to see all of those? That's not it. Widget. Nope. Don't actually remember how to turn off those flags, but I'm sure I'll figure it in a minute, or not. It's not a big problem. Maybe. Hey, what's this? Huh. Ooh, did not know about that advanced feature. Lol. Cool. I'll have to have a look at that eventually. I don't actually use that, you see. Of course I need deferred lighting, don't be silly. Aha, there it is. Go away. Much better. Don't need to see those. Nice. Okay, starting to look good, or decent to say the least. Now there's so much I could do with the lighting, but I don't have that much time left, you see. I'm traveling, got other work to do. Okay, so out of curiosity, let's pump this up a bit, see what happens. I mean, it works, but I don't like it, so let's do one. That works for now, and just for the fun of it, maybe. Is this on? Nope. How about this one? Yep. Let's try this one. 200, 0.5. That's default there. Let's do 0.2 on this one. Okay. So now volumetric fog. Woohoo! Overkill. Let's go to sky and do boom. However, do 0. Let's go to and build the sprites and do all of these spotlights that go down in time here. No, I said all of the spotlights from 20. Find from 42 to 20. And let's go and turn off volumetric scattering of those, like so. Go on these. And which one is the last one? 17, 18, 20. 19 to this. Does have one? That's wrong. Oh yeah. Don't really like it because it takes away everything, or maybe if I go back to 0.5 it does look a bit more spooky. How about I make it easy and do all the point light again and do 0. I think I'm gonna have to fix the stuff in the background eventually. boom, boom, pew, and then pew. Oh wait, that's wrong. Hey, only need this. Pew. Okay, and then I put it somewhere here, and I place it something like there. I do the same here, like so. And apparently I had to tweak it like so. And like so. Play. And then, my friends, go for this. Go all the way to 61, 60, 50. Take these here. Green light. Okay, now take these. Green light. And 42, 257. Blue light. 41 to probably seven to 41. That's not red, just red. Okay. Let's get rid of this one to blue light. Then might be 41. 2, 7. Oh, nope. It's another color here. There you go. So we call it blue light. We'll probably rename them again afterwards anyway. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, sorry. 7 to 41. Oh my god, there's one more. 23. Blue light. And let's just go up and have a look. And then go 7, and then we show. Oh yeah. Red light. Big R. And for this one, what we're gonna do is actually gonna increase this bit, gonna decrease the strength to about 150. Gonna do the sources to around 50, and you can see that it's showing up as a circle. Then we're gonna do 150, soften it up basically, and source length or something 5 actually. And that softens it up a bit. Get rid of some of the details we have there. Alright. And for these red lights, we're actually gonna try increasing. That's when I bake the light, I'm sorry. And I will be doing it as well. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. That's 18, 20, 19, 19 all the way to say this one. That would be spotlight volume for now. I'm gonna call it like that. Cool. So I think that's all of them, right? Then I want to change the color because I haven't. To a bit different color, about greenish. Right. How about orangish? Red? That could have worked actually. I'm gonna go for something like this. Cool. That's okay for now. And did what in the world? Did I just lose all it? Did I? Do I have them all selected? Yeah, I do. And I want to turn on photometric shadow. And save. Okay, play. Hotspot, gotta fix that eventually. Cool. And thought process. Put that into lighting. It's not perfect yet. I mean, come on, it's a lot to do. Give me a break. And I'm gonna go into infinite here, but first I wanna tweak something. This one, purposely gonna cheat, move this on here. And the same goes for this one. Purposely cheat, move this one slightly around here, and this one as well. Slightly move this. And actually gonna have to do something like this for this, and around here for this. There you go. It's better. And there's more light I can add eventually, of course. Sphere Flacciona. We will be a bit picky actually. So we're gonna have one literally goes on these areas here. Because that's the main area, and the smaller these reflections are, the more details they get. Sure, they do use a lot of resources, but to be honest, it's not my biggest concern. Then I want to take these, and I want to do the same for the back area here. Right, it's not perfect, but it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, don't you worry, do do do. Reflection, so let's go. Reflection. There you go. Think we can do 1200 on all of them, so they overlap. Then let's do 5. This might be too much. 2. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2. Two is good for now. Overkill, but who gives a shit? Post effect, put that in render FX, I guess, and press G, go down here and white balance. Just here, global saturation, put something like this, shadows. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go capture, build reflection capture, right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have maybe look at it from this perspective, right? And do this and this and this to be safe side. We're gonna go here, click high resolution screenshot. Okay. Gonna go here. We're gonna have a look at this. Gonna go to Photoshop. Gonna take this. Gonna go in here like so. We're gonna minimize this, minimize this, minimize, 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 and minimize, and minimize, and minimize. And I'm gonna delete this. This, gonna go in here, gonna put this over here and click this one, gonna go here, go level, push this up, push this down, curves. No. Thank you for trying though. Nope. Do, 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 do. Where is it? Bit bluish tone to it. Top of everything else. Let's do a fiddle of something like this, I guess. Might not be perfect, but we'll give it a shot. Tra la 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 la. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. That's not what I want you to do. What's wrong with you? Why are you giving me black and white? Delete. Aha. Okay. Oh yeah. Where'd you go? Why are you doing that to me? How do I mode 16-bit? There you go. And this, so, but out of curiosity, we're losing a bit of the color. So this one. Let's turn it off. And let's do save as and desktop and PNG and LUT to the side and smaller size, and go here and with content and in here. Post process and import and this double click. Oh wow, that is terrible, but that's fine. Code lookup table, save, and we can at least give it a shot. Point. Yeah. to 0.5. It's okay. Still want the white balance. To be around 6,000. No. Let's keep it like this. Let's do slope. Don't actually have to do it because that's why we use those stuff. But I'm just having go. Method. Intensity. Bloom. Okay. That's the exposure. This maybe. A little less. Camera exposure at least. Min 0.2, 0.2, 0.3. Four, 0.01, 0.05, 0.5, 0.1, 0.1, 1. This looks terrible, but that's okay. Play. Alright. Still find it a bit dark though. So slope. Ja. Måste slope litt. Toe. Not too much sloopy doopy. And okie dokie. Something's wrong. So many things I don't like. The hell? Okay. What else can I do? Let's see. Click this. Click this. And then click this, and then do this, then do this, and then do this, then scale. Like so. It's good. Perhaps the material is slightly too ooga booga. So let's put this down like so. And do something like this. And same thing like this. Should do it. Right, so we're just giving the sources to the light. And then what this allows us to do is to have a look and tweak it. Tweak it and tweak it. Tweak it. Tweak it. Tweak it. Skate. Tweak. Tweet, tweet, tweet. One. Play this. Put this one out there. And put this one there. Okie dokie. Like so. Okay. Like so. That's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's okay. It's not perfect. It's good. Helps with the sources, don't it? And then we need to do some sweet game. Then do this. Then do this. Gonna put it up. Gonna do that for all of these blue lights. And that will hopefully be okay. Let's do a quick check. It's fine. I'm really gonna tweak it, put it up. Put it out some more, and we're gonna get this one. And what this does, it reduces the highlights. We can actually do the same here. Put it a bit out, then save. We're gonna do the same with these ones. Put it down. There you go. Tiny tweaky tweaky. Tweaky tweaky. And I think I'm gonna call it for now. That's good.